guys. Today I'm going to go for a conversation with ChatGPT, and I'm going to talk about AI and the future of work in government with ChatGPT, get a few insights. I'm going to be using ChatGPT on my phone, so and I'll be recording the responses so everybody can hear what ChatGPT is saying. All right, so I'm going to start off here. I've got a PowerPoint slide here to keep this engaging throughout. The main topic I want to sort of start with today is Henry Ford popularizing and starting 5-day, 40-hour work week. And, you know, that is a labor movement, apparently predates him with labor movements and legislation uh, playing significant roles with shorter work days and weeks throughout the 19th and 20th century. So I want to sort of go on to historically how we've sort of seen the working patterns change throughout time and how AI will change this moving forwards in the future. Okay, so Henry Ford, hello. Uh, when with Henry Ford, when he started the 5-day, 40-hour work week at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, and this sort of changed the way that human beings work, will we see a similar sort of thing happen, I guess, with the implementation of AI as different processes become more automated moving forwards in the future. And we've already sort of seen it with post-COVID, with more flexible working arrangements for people, work from home, in addition to the 9-day fortnight. What will this mean for humans if we sort of look for, a 3-day working week in the future? Would this be a decrease in salary? And then, purchasing power could be diminished, for example. What are your thoughts on this?
Interesting consideration. Historically, major shifts in work patterns, like Henry Ford's introduction of the 5-day work week, have had profound impacts. With AI and automation, a similar shift could happen. As tasks become automated, it might lead to shorter work weeks. However, the impact on salaries and purchasing power would depend on how society and economies adapt. If productivity increases significantly, there might be new models of compensation. It could also drive changes in how we value different types of work and productivity. It's a complex topic, but definitely one to watch as technology continues to evolve.
Yes, absolutely. And I guess the big thing for me is, historically we saw patterns of pre the Industrial Revolution. We saw human beings working on farms and land for lords and landowners that were the capitalists that, sort of they worked 12, 14-hour days, 7 days a week, not a lot of rest. And then historically over time, we saw a transition where humans started to, or people started to work their own sort of day job and work less hours and have the ability to go and purchase land themselves and take out a loan from the bank to be able to then gain that sort of level of financial based independence. But at the same time, they're having to sort of stand on their own 2 feet, and the banks are making a lot of money out of each human due to the fact that everyone has debt, and over the last sort of 5 years or so, we've seen a real increase in debt level in Western markets, especially in real estate. People have a lot more debt now than what they did previously in real estate. How do you think this could potentially affect society with automation moving forwards, with some of these economic problems, and even housing for people who become made redundant within an ever-changing world?
Parallels between historical labor shifts and potential impact of automation are significant. As automation progresses, we could see job displacement, which might exacerbate existing economic inequalities, especially in housing markets where debt levels are high. This could lead to increased financial stress for many people. However, automation could also create new types of jobs and opportunities. Society might need to adapt by rethinking economic structures, possibly through policies like universal basic income, reskilling initiatives, or other social safety nets. Key will be how societies balance technological progress with support systems to mitigate negative impacts, ensuring people can still achieve financial independence and security.
So I guess the next thing is emerging opportunities with AI. What sort of roles will we see high demand for in the future moving from 2025 onwards? Are we going to see an increase in demand for businesses and the data analytics and business intelligence, software engineering, in addition to AI engineering based roles? Will we see automation within supply chains, customer service, and with an education of people? Do you think that you, there will just be people using AI to increase more productivity within a business, or do you think it will be workers are displaced by AI and the government has to intervene and potentially implement robot-based taxes for business owners or capitalists, while workers are displaced out of jobs and have to be provided with social security, or they have to be given sort of community tasks to gain some income. Where is this heading, in your opinion?
We're likely to see a significant increase in demand for roles related to AI, data analytics, business intelligence, and software engineering. These roles are crucial for developing, maintaining, and optimizing AI systems, which are becoming integral to various industries. Automation will indeed transform supply chains, customer service, and other sectors, enhancing productivity and efficiency. This means businesses will increasingly leverage AI to boost productivity, but it also raises the potential for job displacement. As a result, there might be a need for policy interventions, such as robot-based taxes or universal basic income, to address the socio-economic impacts. Reskilling and upskilling initiatives will also be critical in helping workers transition to new roles. Overall, the future will likely involve a mix of increased productivity through AI and the need for comprehensive societal adjustments to manage the transitions effectively.
Do you think this sort of societal shift is similar to what we saw in the Industrial Revolution, where there was processes that were automated by machines, and it changed people's job because now the machine could perform what 10 workers could perform on a particular task, for example, such as mounting a tire for a car or something like that. Is that sort of where we're sort of heading to?
Yes, the shift we're seeing with AI and automation is quite similar to the Industrial Revolution. Just as machines then took over manual tasks, AI is now automating cognitive and repetitive tasks, which can transform job roles. This transition will likely lead to new opportunities, but also require significant adjustments, similar to how society adapted back then. The key difference now is the pace and scale of change, which could be much faster and more widespread, necessitating proactive approaches to reskilling and social support.
The next topic I want to sort of discuss here is AI in governance. So, um, enhancing public services, streamlining processes, promoting transparency. I guess the thing is in society today is there are a lot of different social media-based platforms, with Twitter, X, TikTok, in addition to Instagram and Facebook still. People are getting their information from YouTube, and then in addition to the news and the mainstream media and paper outlets. As we see AI emerge, will it be likely that there will be a new source that humans will get their information from? Or will we just see the existing platforms just get larger and people will have access to more information than ever, and that will just continue to grow um, based on sort of the current trend?
AI's integration into governance and public services has the potential to enhance efficiency, transparency, and decision making. Could streamline processes, reduce administrative burdens, promote greater accountability and governance. Regarding information sources, AI will likely continue to shape how information is curated and consumed. Existing platforms will probably leverage AI to improve personalization and content delivery. However, we might also see the emergence of new AI-driven platforms designed to aggregate and disseminate information in more sophisticated ways. Overall, while existing platforms will continue to expand, AI may foster new avenues for information dissemination, potentially leading to even more diverse and accessible sources of information.
Can you ask me a couple of questions now based on efficiency and transparency, the automation of routine tasks with AI, data-driven insights, and improved service delivery, and then sort of expand on what I'm talking about, or just kind of challenge my thinking a little bit so we can get quite a nice, sophisticated discussion going?
Sure. Here are a couple of questions. One, how do you envision AI improving transparency in public services, and what potential challenges might arise in maintaining this transparency while ensuring privacy and data security? With AI automating routine tasks, how do you think human roles will evolve in sectors like public administration or customer service, and what skills will become more critical in these roles? Feel free to share your thoughts.
I think the big thing with AI and the management of AI in this particular area is ensuring data governance and cybersecurity. They're the two areas that are very important moving forwards because we need to ensure that the government tasks are automated, but we also need to ensure that people of society's data is confidentiality is maintained and that comes through the having sophisticated cybersecurity that keeps up with AI and sort of stops potential hackers and other sorts of that information falling into the wrong hands. In addition to the main sort of coming back to sort of the way in which it'll reduce the manual workload is it will do that by system-based automation. There'll be sales CRM systems that AI will, based on the data put in by the sales professional, for example, it will provide insights and on the data that's been put in won't have to be analysed manually. It will be able to sort of advise the sales professional what to say to the client, who to ring, and this will allow greater volume, for example. For government-based sort of tasks, this will allow more data to be retrieved within the government across different sectors and collated to make informed decisions at a much faster rate. And the big thing I would say with that comes, as I mentioned before, cybersecurity, in addition to ensuring that all the data governance or row-level security is all in place across all the different data sets and databases across the enterprise or business, so that data does not fall into the wrong hands.
AI's role in improving transparency in public services is significant. To streamline processes, reduce human error, and make government actions more accessible by automating data handling and decision making. This can increase accountability by making information more readily available to the public and ensuring that decisions are data driven and auditable. However, balancing transparency with privacy and security is tricky. Protecting citizens' data, preventing unauthorized access, and ensuring automated systems don't inadvertently violate rights will require careful oversight. As for public administration or customer service, AI will likely handle more repetitive tasks, allowing humans to focus on higher level decision making and problem solving. Roles in these fields will likely require more strategic thinking, communication, and empathy, skills that AI can't easily replicate. Additionally, there will be a growing need for people who can manage and interpret AI systems. So, tech savvy skills, alongside emotional intelligence and critical thinking, will be valuable.
So next, I want to touch on global implications of AI. So I want to start off on a bit of a discussion together about economic structures, international relations, and regional futures. So I want to kind of, with economic sort of structures, and the enhancement of productivity, creating new markets and altering job landscapes across the globe. When a lot of humans think, they're waking up and they're responding to Maslow's hierarchy of needs to some level of degree psychologically, they're thinking about food, water, being safe, being happy, having some people, some company, not being lonely. Uh, do you think that there is a chance that some humans will fall, it'll change the way some humans will think due to the fact that they will um, sort of get a different algorithmic kind of response with AI? The new things will be suggested to them and get them to think in a new way, and we could very much see a more enhanced society from an educational based perspective, with a lot more knowledge being consumed by human beings than what there was in the past. A lot more kind of critical thinking and thinking outside the square. More people becoming more curious because there's a lot more topics at the access of their fingertips. From an international relations standpoint, the rise of AI is reshaping international relations through its impact on security, trade, and diplomatic strategies among countries. So, from a diplomatic point of view, it doesn't, in the old days, a diplomatic or a diplomat would have to know multiple different languages to be able to try and negotiate with other countries for sort of mutually agreed benefits from a trading based perspective. Now with AI, obviously, you could get a different negotiator that has AI that can convert to that particular language, for example, to help with that and change that international relations piece, or have more people from a particular country communicating with somebody from another country because language may not be as big a barrier. In addition to regional futures, so AI will shape the future on different regions, is essential for strategic planning and policy making. So, the future of different regions, obviously, that could it will very much change resource allocation throughout different markets and different areas throughout a country.
You've raised some thought-provoking points about AI's impact on both individual lives and international dynamics. The idea of how AI will influence human thinking, especially in the context of Maslow's hierarchy, is fascinating. AI could certainly influence the way people pursue their needs, shifting their focus from just basic survival to more complex aspirations like self actualization. As AI learns to provide personalized suggestions, it would encourage people to think differently, pursue education more actively, and expand their worldview by connecting them to new topics and perspectives. In theory, this could create a more curious, informed society with a higher level of critical thinking and creativity, as you mentioned. The challenge, though, would be ensuring that AI doesn't just lead people down echo chambers, but fosters genuine intellectual growth and understanding. From an international relations standpoint, AI will indeed break down many traditional barriers. Translational technologies will eliminate language gaps, making communication between nations much smoother. Diplomats, rather than focusing on language fluency, might instead focus on leveraging AI's power to interpret complex issues and craft more effective negotiations. That could lead to a more inclusive international community where knowledge and understanding are shared more freely. However, this also raises questions about data privacy, misinformation, and the potential for AI-driven manipulation in negotiations. As for regional futures, the influence of AI on resource allocation and market dynamics is bound to reshape economies. Countries that embrace AI could see significant economic shifts as industries become more efficient and new markets emerge. Those that fall behind in AI adoption might struggle to maintain competitive advantage, potentially leading to greater disparity between regions. Policymakers will need to be strategic in planning AI integration, ensuring equitable distribution of resources and opportunities to prevent widening inequality. It's clear that AI will not only impact how we live day to day, but also reshape broader global structures in ways that are difficult to fully predict. It will require careful management to ensure that the benefits are maximized while minimizing any negative consequences.
So what I want to touch on next is economic disparities. So the impact of AI on economies. So wealthier nations advantage. So, historically with wealthier nations, pre-Adam Smith, the wealth of nations in the 18th century when modern capitalism sort of started, we sort of had, and globalization, we had sort of the feudal based sort of system, which was where a country would produce a large portion of its products within that particular nation. With AI now, when we have the wealthier nations, and even from sort of an international trade perspective now, the wealthier, more dominant nation could potentially impose tariffs on smaller nations if they don't cooperate. But let's say with advanced technology, and we will wealthier nations that have AI that enhance productivity and innovation, will that then widen the economic gap even further? So, the example might be a global sort of powerhouse like the United States, for example, and in addition to a country, an African-based country, for example, that doesn't have modern technology, we'll see a gap widen there, and potentially some more agreements forming for resources in these countries that are sort of falling behind because they're not able to keep up with technological innovation.
Right to consider the broader implications. Historically, wealthier nations always had a edge when it comes to innovation, access to resources, and AI has the potential to deepen this divide even further. Countries with the means to invest in AI and advanced technologies will likely see massive productivity boosts, which will increase their economic output and create new industries. Wealthier nations already have the infrastructure, resources, and skilled workforce to leverage AI at scale, making it easier for them to remain competitive in global markets. On the other hand, countries that struggle to keep up with technological advancements, whether due to lack of infrastructure, resources, or educational systems, might find themselves falling further behind. The digital divide, already a significant issue, could expand with poorer nations unable to compete in the AI-driven economy. This could lead to a situation where countries that aren't able to innovate or adopt AI technologies could be left dependent on the wealthier nations, reinforcing economic inequality. The gap might be most pronounced in industries that rely heavily on automation, AI-driven efficiencies, and data analysis. For instance, countries with advanced AI capabilities could dominate global industries like finance, healthcare, and manufacturing, while nations without these capabilities might struggle to compete or even face challenges in maintaining basic economic stability. From a trade and diplomatic standpoint, wealthier nations may use their technological advantage to impose trade policies or tariffs to favor their own AI-driven industries, potentially locking out smaller nations from key markets. This might result in exploitation of resources from these less advanced regions in exchange for technology, with wealthier nations holding the power to shape the terms of trade. Challenge will be to create frameworks that encourage technology sharing and development rather than exacerbating disparities. Global cooperation and efforts like international agreements on tech transfer, education, and infrastructure investment could help mitigate some of the potential negative consequences. But there will likely need to be a shift in how global economies approach fairness and equity in the AI age.
Okay, so thanks for listening in there today, guys. That's my first conversation there with ChatGPT um, on an economics-based topic with AI. If you like this, be sure to post in the comment section, the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.